I don't know if Kodansha has topped last year's video when we talked about Mars getting licensed, but y'all, they certainly starting off the year strong because I don't know who's going to be able to top this video later this year. Maybe Kodansha, if not, they're going to be at least staying up in the lead. Hello friends, happy Monday! Goodness y'all, what a week it was last week because Kodansha, they came out, they did, I don't think it was a whole week's worth of license announcements, but they did have at least 3 days, I believe. And goodness, that last day, I feel they saved the best for last. They really came out and said, we hear you, Josei community. We hear you, we're doing something about it. And they're not just saying we're doing something about it, they're really putting it into action and showing with the licenses that they are doing something. It is really awesome, and I'm again just so thankful for Kodansha. Just man, they're just nailing it. Even if not every license announcement they had, I was personally interested in. I'm not a Blue Lock fan, so that definitely was like not for me. That's the only thing that really like stands out. And the thriller, I think it was like a scary horror thriller though, okay? Not that one as well, because I'm a major chicken. But yeah, we need to talk about, we're gonna be starting with Kodansha. I'm not gonna be starting with what I felt was the biggest license win. Maybe not for me, but I feel like for the community and just how huge of a deal this was. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right in. Starting off with the day one that they had was Say Hello to Mr. Wallaby. What do you know that this is a Josei manga, 2 volumes, and it's serialized in the Kiss magazine. I want to say a huge shout out to this person in the corner. I cannot remember their name. I can see their like profile picture because they have one of the cozy shoujosei series that Yen licensed and released last year, but they tagged me and they said, hey, we're getting a shoujosei cute animal series. And I was like, shoujosei? I said, what? And I had to go look, and I'm so glad she said something because I would have totally missed sharing this with you all because I was like, oh, this seems like a cute read. Not necessarily for me, but when I was looking into it, it sounds really fun, really cute. I believe Kodansha is gearing it towards, at least like when you go to their website and they have a more longer description, I believe they're gearing it towards children, which I am so in favor of. We need that. We need that. But it's about a wallaby who lives in Australia and is obsessed with Bushido, I think is what they said. He loves Japan, loves reading books about Japan, and so the principal of the school with the owner he stays with, he brings, I guess, this wallaby to class, and there's shenanigans that ensue. The art was really cute. I looked on Bookwalker Japan, I was like, this looks really fun. I love the expressions. If my budget allows, I would like to give it a chance, but it's gonna be hard because this next one, I really feel was the best shoujosei license, the best license period from their days of licenses, and that is Rainy Day Serenade. Wow. I don't know anything about this, but I can say, and it does back up my statement here, that this is a very highly requested series I've seen from a variety of people online who are saying, Kodansha, please print this. And if you go to Kodansha's website, as I have a screenshot here, one of the most requested Kodansha manga of all time finally arrives in English. I was surprised and not surprised, mainly because I thought Mars was like one of the #1, and I'm sure that it definitely is, but getting this, a Josei series that is longer than 10 volumes, I mean, it feels surreal. It feels surreal. It seems to be about this young woman. She's in modern day Japan. She has these dreams on rainy days of being with this young man, like when she was little. I don't remember his name. Her name, I think, is Hina, but she dreams of him, and then I guess at some point something happens, it's raining, and suddenly she finds herself, what era was it? In 1907, but the twist here seems to come in is she doesn't, I'm assuming, can't get back to modern day Japan, but she has somebody who looks just like her, and so I guess it's their life of them looking like each other, I'm assuming filling in for one another. I'm very intrigued. I know it's a time travel story, but I think somebody has mentioned it has some political intrigue, if not political intrigue, just intrigue in general in the series. I'm very, very curious. It was great to see that they said each premium paperback contains 2 parts, nearly 400 pages of manga. Like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Yes. Huge W for Kodansha. Maybe this isn't anything I've read. I would definitely like to get it just because of all the hype I've seen for it. So much excitement. I mean, it is really surreal to know one of the most requested manga that Kodansha has picked it up. Yes, like we'd love to see publishers listening to excited and readers who are interested in these titles. And for this last one I want to mention, I'm not familiar with this either, but it's called Fangirl and Callboy, and there was a lot of excitement for this. And it's interesting because this seems to be about a young woman who's a shut-in. She never leaves her house. She plays a, I guess, 18+ fantasy game, and she ends up having a call boy come to her house because I forgot what they said, but she ends up doing that. An accident happens where they fall. When I was looking at the preview online, like the Japanese preview, she looks so sus. Her house has, I think it was really bare, the room that they go in. She's got a bunch of white cloth on top of these boxes, and it's like, this is a little bit awkward, but something happens. They fall down, and when they fall, I guess the TV comes on, some kind of sheet falls down, and the call guy here, he sees this game that she likes. Rather than being grossed out or freaked out, he's like, oh my goodness, this is, I don't know, a game that I guess he's interested in as well, because he was so animated in his expressions. And so I get the impression, I think what the blurb said as well, because all of these are just sort of running together, but yeah, from what I remember is they have a growing friendship together as these two, I don't know if they have the same Oshis or anything, but they're definitely a toku who love this game together and build a friendship outside of this very, what seems for her, a very scary first experience. Nothing happens, and if I can find the link again, I want to leave Maddie's review to the first chapter, because I'll admit my first impression was like, oh, this looks really, really cute. And then I think I read the blurb and I was like, I don't know. I don't know, because I was sort of afraid it was going to go into like spicy or steamy territory. While I can handle some very low-key one, I didn't know how far it would go, but there have been several people on Twitter at least who have said it's very wholesome. How the story starts doesn't mean the rest of that is going to be, and nothing happens though. Like there's definitely no nudity or anything like that. So I think I'm going to give it a chance if I can, if there is room in my budget, because it's a seinen manga, it's not a shoujo, but it just seems so interesting. And I had several friends, or at least 2 for sure, that were very hyped, very excited, and a lot of people felt this was a very big win for the community. So again, W's all around, because I know too, Kodansha did, was it Blackjack? It was like a premium edition, and I'm not familiar with that series at all. But I guess at one point it was out of print, so now it's coming back, but hardback, premium edition, all the things, and a lot of people were like, yes! It was really awesome to start the year off in such an exciting way, and if you're a big fan of light novels, then Cross Infinite had 3 new licenses, though I'm only going to talk about 2 of them. The third one sounded cute, and honestly I don't remember why I didn't save it, mainly I think because of the creators of both of these. Both of these titles are one-shot romantic fantasy, but this one here, what made me intrigued about it, it's by the same creator as Always a Catch. And that is the Brooding Duke's Guide to the Lie Detecting Lady. This sounds so funny. So basically she's hired as a lie detector for the Ministry of Justice in this world here. She's an earl's daughter, and so I guess it's her story of her being a lie detector for this Brooding Duke here. I can imagine there's going to be some funny shenanigans because Always a Catch is absolutely wonderful. I really love it. But I admit out of the 2, I'm most excited for this one, and that's Strawberry Princess, the Time Loop Defined Villainous. And once again, the creators, what had me interesting, though I thought it was very cute, like with the cover and everything, but it's by the same creator as A Dragon's Soulmate is a Mushroom Princess. That is another light novel series that Cross Infinite World has, and it just seems so quirky and so cool. And this one is the same, where I guess it's about a princess here. She's had enough of the saint resetting it so she can get with all the guys, so she's like, I'm gonna fight this, I'm gonna stop it. And I think it says, yeah, with the power of strawberries, that's how she's gonna fight back. And I said, I'm sold. It just sounds cute. cute, quirky, really fun time, and the cover is just absolutely adorable. I love it. It just looks great. So again, a really big week of licenses. I know Kana had a really big one that many people were excited for. I know that Manga Mavericks is having actually right now filming this video, they're probably still live at their industry panel. So hopefully they'll have something we can talk about next week. But unfortunately, if you didn't see anything that you were excited for, or maybe you did, but you're just like, I want more now because I got to win. Then 7 Seas has their January reader survey up. You could go on there and let them know. They asked a lot of questions about hardback premium editions. I totally blanked on the question of what is a series or title that we publish that you would like to see have the hardcover edition. And I said, I really don't know. I suddenly like just blanked and like, what has 7 Seas published? And then of course, you know, when you're away from that question, it could be like 2-3 hours later, like, oh, I had a whole list. That didn't happen to me, but I feel like with other things, it does. I told them for things I would love to see licensed for manga, the one within the villainous. Yes, please. We would love to see it. I am upset with myself though that for manhwa, I forgot to mention How to Win My Husband Over. I know that we have that digitally in English, but I'm not reading it until we get it physically. And I'm like, how do we not have this in English physically? Like, surely 2026 is the year for that. Like, please. I think for the webtoons question, I did contract with the Grim Reaper for 3 years. I'm not really sure if that's a webtoon. It's a scrolling line manga, I believe, in Japan, and we don't have that in English, but I would love to have it in English. It just looks so good. I love the cover. It just seems like a win. And I was going to mention like, oh, go see my video, but I'm like, that was during the time where all the sickness was going on and I couldn't post that video because I broke down basically my whole license wish list, things I was adding, the wins I got. Hopefully next year we could actually, or later, much later this year, we can do that. And that wasn't the only exciting thing. Crossheart says, hey, we are bringing back Secret Wednesdays because for a while there, you know, they were doing like, hey, here's a guessing game. You guess the title. If you get it correct and you're one of the first people and you like tag 2 people, then you can enter to win a giveaway where you get the book for free, just, you know, as part of the giveaway, which is really cool. And this week they had an interesting one. It is a shoujo manga, and they are saying here that it's a romance manga set within an academy for nobles where the 2 leads grapple with mutual unrequited love for each other. There were no guesses. No, I take it back. There were 2. One of them I'm not familiar with, and the other one was Perfectly Fine on My Own, which we are getting the manga from Kodansha, but they mentioned the light novel, but they said manga, so I really don't know, but I have no guesses at all of what this is, but I'm excited that we're getting our second manga from them. Hopefully it'll be an exciting manga. It sounds good. I will be very curious. So if you have a guess, definitely be sure to go participate because you never know, you might win the giveaway. And this one ain't a giveaway, but let me tell you, if you're a fan of the Apothecary Diaries, The Failure at God School, or was it the You Can't Bluff the Sharp-Eyed Sister? Something along those lines. All 3 titles we have in English, and what they have in common is the creator, because yes, the creator of Apothecary Diaries and Failure at God School, they are coming to Anime Central as the guest of honor this year. Yes, I was mind blown when I saw this. Now, I don't know where Anime Central takes place at. I think somebody mentioned Chicago. I don't know how accurate that is. I didn't look it up because I'm still just mind blown that, yeah, that the creator of Apothecary Diaries, which is huge. I wish Failure of God School was, you know, right up there too. I mean, in my heart it is. And I mentioned that in my Top 5 Wednesday video last week of my favorite debuts from Yen Press. But yeah, maybe there'll be something where there's some, you know, autographs. Maybe you just get to meet them. You get to see them. You get to thank them, you know, something along those lines. So there's a chance for you to go, or you are willing to drive or fly out that way. This could be it. This could be it. And as we transition into the anime news, man, talk about being shocked. I went to bed late one night. I don't know what was going on, but I went to bed late and I happened to see this news and I was shocked. The person I love, Asked Me to Die on My Sister's Steed, is getting an anime production. An anime is in the work. It is in progress, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I honestly feel I should not be shocked because if you read the tweet, it says that the series has exceeded 1 million copies. It's doing very well in Japan. We do have the manga only in English. I do have first impression of volume 1. I've read up to volume 3. The ending of volume 3 really wrecked me and it triggered me because it was hard. It was hard. So I haven't had the courage to come back to volume 4, even though the main character is everything. I want her happiness so badly. She is wonderful, a very wonderful heroine. So yeah, if you're a fan of this series or you've wanted to try this series, I know there is some controversy and I get it. I don't know what to tell you except for maybe I mentioned in my first impression review. I don't know, but it's really good though. It's really good. I really liked it. The world building is very interesting. The characters are great. The sword is awesome. We're team sword. If you read it, you know, it sounds weird out of context, but there is a reason for that. And listen, okay? Now this is about anime that have a new PV, new key visual kind of thing. And let me tell you, that was Haikyuu. That was Haikyuu. I never got around to sharing about that announcement. Yes, that announcement that just dropped out of nowhere. And I was like, this is happening. Because, you know, originally, I think it's changed along the way. We were supposed to get just one movie. And then it changed to 2 movies. Now it's changed to a movie and a special anime. Yes, we're getting a Haikyuu movie called Verse the Little Giant. And then we're getting a special anime, The Place Where Monsters Go. Both of these are releasing in 2027. And I said, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That was such wonderful news. Love getting more Haikyuu. We will take it all in. If Viz wants to give us some Haikyuu, the spin-offs of the manga, the light novels, we will take it. We will take it with gratitude and thankfulness, okay? Please, I really, really hope. I know it's going to be great. I just hope for Viz that they see it, there's good numbers, and they're like, we're willing to take this risk. Like, please do. Please do. In this next one. Wait, before we go to the next one, I forgot to share the key visual here. We have Bokuto and Hinata. They look fantastic. I was so excited. I know it's just going to be awesome. But in my excitement, what I was going to say is I think they're going A Witch in Mongolia from Yen Press. We have the manga and it's called A Witch's Life in Mongol. But we got a new PV and it looked stunning. It's pretty short. I think it's like less than a minute. There's only one voice line near the end. But seeing the animation was really good. The aesthetic, it was awesome. I'm very, very intrigued. I unfortunately did not connect with the manga, but I don't know. There was just something different of seeing it in animation that I would definitely give it a chance. And not only is the animation beautiful in like the PV, but the key visual just as stunning. Really, really liked it. I'm very curious to see where the series is going to go. I believe it's an award-winning series in Japan. I don't know a lot of people who are reading it in English, but you know, that doesn't mean that it's not a good series or anything like that. It's a very, if you're into history, it's very good for that. Like, it is a very well thought out series. And I think I mentioned this in a Top 5 Wednesday video, that recommendations for fans of the historical genre who are looking for historical fiction that wasn't romance, because I was featuring different historical series. Yeah, this is one I would definitely recommend. And I meant to mention it earlier because we don't have a new PV for this, but the Ramparts of Ice, we got confirmation sometime last year. We got the PV. This is by it's a Josei manga by the same creator of You and I Are Polar Opposites, which is currently streaming right now, I think, on Crunchyroll. But Netflix came out and said, hey, we are confirming that we have the anime. We have a key visual here for you, and it's going to be streaming on April 2nd. It's going to be a weekly series on there. And I think the key visual looks really good. I've heard very positive things about this series. I'm very bummed it's on Netflix, mainly because I don't have Netflix. And I don't know anybody who has Netflix that could let me borrow their account. So, I mean, I've been wanting to get Netflix again for K-pop Demon Hunters so I could watch it because it's been so many months and I miss those characters. But this is one, whenever I renew my Netflix subscription, I need to remember and go check it out because I really, really hope that we'll eventually get this series in English. I've heard the first word that came to mind was melancholy, but I'm not sure that's the right word. And I cannot for the life of me remember what the series is about. I just know it's been spoken very highly of, and I personally am very, very curious of it. But let's talk about a few of those cover reveals. I think I have like 5 or 6 for you today, and one of them, the first one, is actually a shonen sports manga, starting off different, and that is Deep 3. This is a upcoming manga from Tokyo Pop, and I wanted to share it because I really love this cover, but I was very curious when I was reading the blurb about it. The main guy here has yips, and if that was like not bad enough and hard enough for him physically and mentally, I believe his dad is somebody that's really big in the basketball world, and so he is struggling, I think, with this identity of, or at least this desire to play basketball, but he has yips. He's being told, I'm assuming, like, hey, you probably shouldn't play anymore because it's affecting his gameplay. I really, really want to try this out. It's been a hot minute since I've read a sports series, so I just wanted to feature today because I was very curious and just wanted to share about it in case if anybody else was curious. The next few are from Yen Press, with starting off with Stray Cat and Wolf Volume 4. I like this cover. I think it's cute. I like the blue text that they have, or the blue font. I don't read this series, so I'm not really sure what else to say about it, but I know people are probably going to be excited we're getting another volume because I feel like the series for this release is very slow, not fully sure, but I just feel like we don't see, like I know friends who love the series, but I feel like they don't talk about it often in the sense of like, hey, here's a new volume. So I'm excited for those fans. This next one is my second favorite cover that I am sharing, or at least probably my first one, and that's the Bubble Love of the Mermaid. This is beautiful. This is by the same creator as My Happy Marriage. This is volume 1. Not only is it going to be physically a light novel, but we're also getting the audiobook of it. And again, I just think it's so pretty. I'm like, I could just read that just for the cover love alone, just for the cover. But this next one though, I really love this one. I love the series. And that's Sacrificial Prince and the King of Beasts, White Rabbit and the Prince of Beasts. It's so cute. Richard looks so adorable and just love all the characters. I'm excited to see where the story goes. I have deeply, deeply enjoyed this one. The next one is from Crossed Hearts, and that's From a Knight to a Lady, volume 2. Love the green. They just dropped a trailer online. If I can, I'll leave it linked down below or in the corner. And the trailer looked really good for the book. It makes me very curious and almost wanting to pick it up, but I'm hoping, very much hoping that my library will get it. And then last but not least, what I think is my favorite cover in, of all things, that is Nana, the 25th anniversary edition of volume 4. I love what they are doing with these covers. They are just so beautiful and very, very gorgeous, and excited for the fans who have wanted to collect it, but shelf space being an issue, that they can get them in these anniversary editions, because I think they're like 2 in 1, I think. I definitely mentioned this in my video on Friday, and hopefully it didn't sound weird. I was trying to say in that video of like, don't always listen to the loudest negative voices, because a lot of people are like, this is horrible, we don't want this, but there's been so much love for it in the covers. Honestly, just every cover they've given us, maybe not as much the first one. Now, the sprayed edges, yes, that knocked it out the park, but these last 3 covers that they have shared have been so good. They are just beautiful, and so had to share it because I really, really like it. And again, it's one of my favorite cover reveals of this week. But that is all the news I have for you, friends. I would love to hear from you. What was your Kodansha win from this week? Whether that was from your personal license wish list, or just what you felt was a big win in the sense of like, wow, a lot of people have wanted this and maybe it wasn't on my radar, but it is now. Yeah, let me know down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!